Happy Saturday, everyone. May 21st, 2022, TikTok. And I am in 365 gifts. I've discovered that when I sit on the little sofa in here, I can't sit there. My hair, it hurts my back. There's something wrong with it. When I sit like this, it doesn't hurt my back. So I can't keep sitting on that sofa because it's not, I don't need any more added pain. Whacking my head in the same place I'm having pain just made my head pain that much more worse. And I didn't need it, but accidents happen, so you just go with it. So today's reading is number 141, and it's on text messaging. So this should be fun. I haven't been getting updates on my phone, so my phone doesn't ding anymore. I'm really enjoying the quiet. I know there's a button, but I need my phone to ring and I need to hear it. So it's been a good thing. Disconnecting, I feel like I'm kind of off the grid, so to speak, even though I have my Facebook and my YouTube and my Silence No More stuff. I don't know. So anyway, a word fitly spoken is like apples of gold in a setting of silver. That's quite lovely. Proverbs 25, verse 11. Oh, the joy of sending and receiving instantaneous messages. The ability to connect with someone at lightning speed is more than just handy. It can be a lifesaver, for sure. Well, two people saved my life. It's also a great way to stay in touch with loved ones who live on the other side of the country or even the other side of the world. Text messaging might get a bad rap because it's not as personal as a face-to-face meeting, but it's a terrific way to let people know what's going on in your life and vice versa. The ability to send pictures, videos, and words of encouragement, and all at the push of a button, is truly a 21st century gift, one meant to bind us together with those we love and those that you meet. It's unreal, the melting pot here. I've met two sets of guests from Germany. Marianne, oh my goodness, you go crazy here. You'd be speaking German and going crazy. I'm telling you, you need to get your tail end down here. Lord, I'm grateful for instant communication. Always have been. Just like each guest to come here. It's instant. Think about Jesus. He did it all on foot. Well, he had his donkey, but if you think about the road he traveled, and God's just sending them all here to me. Why else would he send me here to this beautiful resort? I'm just saying, I was blown away by the number of places outside the United States that is tuned in. And I think every language in the world is so unique, even the tribal languages. I've always been fascinated with how cool is that we have so many languages throughout the world, and people are so different from one to the next. And I'm talking about those that are the nice people, the pleasant, the ones that shine their lights as bright as they possibly can for everyone to see. It's unreal. It's unreal when you fully surrender, where he leads you and who he leads you to and who he puts on your path. It is so fun and enjoyable to live life this way. Truly it is. When I haven't looked at the bank account since I put the money in from the Mustang. And I've got more to put in there, but I'm not putting it in. I haven't, any monies that I've come in, haven't deposited any of them. So I'm letting him tell me what to do. I don't care about the number. Doesn't matter to me because I've got plenty of things to sell to remain where I'm at for quite some time. And that's exactly what I plan on doing unless he wants me to go somewhere else. Now I am hoping and praying that France is in my future because I have been wanting to go there ever since I was a little kid. And I think I said this on another video. And I cannot wait. Truly, truly, truly cannot wait to go there. And I know I'm going to love it. I just know I will. Because all the research I've done, I already love it and I've never been there. It's just like all these other cool places. And the people that have been guests here, you know, from England, and I met some from Connecticut also today. Sweet couple that really love to get down to nature, so I referred them to go to Crane Point because that's exquisite, total natural. They have a butterfly area, bohemian home with artifacts in it. It is, and then they have that free fish pedicure station where the fish do all the work. You just stick your feet in this beautiful body of water that empties into the Gulf. I mean, everything down here is about getting back to nature. And it's unbelievable the guests that have said that. And thus far, Miami, it's like it's a one and done. They don't have any desire to go back there. And some of the guests, Key West, it's one and done. They have no desire to go back there. That saddens me because they're both cool places. I mean, come on, Miami Vice. Let's just be honest. But when you really look at things like that in a different light, it's sad that, you know, okay, Key West, you need a playground there, an adult playground that has a fence around it so that you guys can just do whatever you want, like you do all the way down to Wall Street. But let's, you know, what would it hurt to give them their own area? And then these families that are visiting and go one and done and never want to come back will want to come back. Will want to come back. When they ask me my opinion, I say anything goes. That is the best way for me to describe Key West. Now, if anybody asked me that about Chicago, I wouldn't say that. It's a melting pot, just like it is here. But Key West is anything goes. Chicago's my melting pot, where people come together too. Unfortunately, there's so much corruption there right now. It's horrific. So it's just some food for thought. That seems to be a topic today. I said it earlier on a review that I did for the pizza that we ordered last night for guests and the staff here at the resort. I'm telling you, I had Taste of Home and it was unreal. It was as close to volcano pizza as I have ever tasted in my life. And they put a big old piece of fresh basil on it to top it off. And I'm telling you, you guys, I can't even make it up. And as their ovens get seasoned, it's going to be more like volcano. So it'll be fun. One time, I got to get volcano shipped here because I want him to taste what my pizza back home tasted like, and his pizza reminds me of it. And I know the reviews, there was a guy from, I think a guy or girl from New Jersey that was like, oh my gosh, this is like a Taste of Home, like New Jersey. You know, and people from Key Largo, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. It's unreal. And anything that I ordered on that menu was out of this world. I ordered sandwiches for Hannah. The Italian beef was shredded real fine. Oh my gosh, it was so melt in your mouth. Their chicken strips are delightful, delicious. I mean, I ate them cold today. They're that good. I haven't tried the Stromboli yet, so I'm hopeful that I'll sneak out to to the tiki bar where we refrigerated it all last night, whatever was left over. But if more people would just do this, can you imagine how much happier this world would be? I don't know. It's not hard. When did people forget how to love? With their whole hearts. Not just a little bit. When do people get so damn ugly that they have to hurt people left and right to succeed in life? To get that pot of gold waiting for them that they strive for every day and working their fingers to the bone, and they don't have time for their families. That's not right. Man made it that way. Man made it about the bottom dollar. God didn't. God never did. You know people that are needing something. Don't judge them. If they're people that need help and they're in need of food, well then help them twofold. Put them in connection with somebody, because I can assure you, if there's a Christian out there and they have a gift and somebody has a need, they will fulfill it without one red cent. Now that's God. That's Jesus all the way. Just saying. People forgot about him, because man kept GDing him left and right every place they could. I can't believe how many movies I never heard it before. I hear it every time now. I was so wrapped up in man's world that he was there, but he isn't where he is today. You know, I've always longed for that one and only, and I thought I married him. And you know, I never have felt more fulfilled and at peace in my life than I do today. And I have ever since I've gotten to the Florida Keys. I mean, the last two years of healing from blood clots in my brain, it's unbelievable how much you can't turn this off. And for somebody that's so high energy like me, it made this a million times worse than it ever was. And I'm a huge multitasker. Anybody that knows me knows this. So to sit idle was just doing something ferocious to my insides. And thank God when I was in Indiana, I still had my tanning bed. Because there were days I just physically couldn't even go outside, but I could at least get in that tanning bed for 20 minutes. Here, at my tanning bed, I just walk outside. I mean, I brought my tanning bed down here, and would I have used it this last year? Absolutely. Um, but I never needed to, because 20 minutes out in the sun was 20 minutes in my tanning bed. I get the real sun. You only need 20 here too. People want to stay out for hours. You don't need it here. You can be out there for 20 minutes, a half hour, and go do something. Go have some fun with your family. Get a boat. I mean, I can get really dark, and there's some days where I just lay out for a while and enjoy it. But it's like really humid today, and it's really hot. So when in the winter up north, when you're inside in the heat with the fireplaces, in the summer when it gets hot, you're in the air conditioning cooling off. I mean, what difference does it make? I mean, truly. It's where you choose. It's just unreal when you really take a step back and start reviewing your whole life. And things that have hurt you for so long, you finally get rid of. They no longer serve a purpose in your life, nor an attachment to you. Will they always be a part of you as far as your memories? Sure. You can't forget some of those things that were hurtful and harmful to you or your body. Um, but you grow from it. So then the next time you revisit that, what hurt you so bad and you carried for so long, you can look at it like you're an outsider looking in and saying, wow, because you're no longer that person. When you get to that level, you don't need, I mean, I didn't need medications to get to this level. The only thing I'm using is, the remedies to get all the poisons out of my body, because that's all it is. I don't have a diagnosis. Why do I need a diagnosis? He's healing my body. He's getting rid of all the toxic stuff in my body. And I don't need a diagnosis to go with it. Because every time I go, I've entered something into my body that's toxic that I shouldn't have eaten. And it did a number. So he's clearing it right out. It's unbelievable. Man wants nothing to do with it. Do with that kind of medicine. And of course, insurance isn't going to cover it because you can't make any money. Can you imagine how many people in the world and he uses him? Oh wow, here I go again. Look at the sun. There's the light in my room. He had three birds last night. It was funny. There were three of us in a powwow. That's funny. I even said that powwow. We were though. We were having a powwow. And then three birds. And then there were three people in the water. And then there were three more people in the water. Like it was like crazy. I was like, what? And of course I'm telling them and we met somebody that actually works here. Her name is Kathy. She was in the Army for 4 years. And she goes, oh yeah, she said, I was in intelligence. I I know Morse code. And I'm like, okay, we're supposed to be listening to this. And I'm looking at Matthew and I'm like, we're supposed to be listening to this, right? Yeah, I got that loud and clear. He goes, I'm like, I never know anybody that knows Morse code. And she goes, oh, I can transcribe it left and right. And I said, but can you transmit it? She goes, oh, no, I can't transmit it. I said, no, wait a minute. If you can transcribe it, okay, let's, and then Matthew chimed in and I think he said something, if you wrote it down, could you beep, beep, beep? Oh, yeah, I could do that. Well, there you go. So it's unbelievable. And I'm thinking I need a radio, but we don't need radios. We have in a marina. We have radios all over on the marina. I don't need to worry about a radio. And we've got somebody that knows Morse code. I don't know. People need to wake up. People need to wake up. God's not putting these people on my path for nothing. Look at where I'm at. I was homeless, people. I keep trying to tell you to listen. I can't make you. I can't make you change your ways. But I'm trying. I'm trying my darndest. Because every time I get messages, I add them to my videos. I do what I can. It's the only way that I know to tell what I am learning. And why are all these people being put on my path? Because trust me, anybody that knows Natalie, just like when I shop, I see something that catches my eye, but I don't know why, and I buy it. And then it could be a day later, a week later, 3 months later, a year later. And I'm like, oh my gosh, now I know why I bought that. It's for this moment right now. So, got it out. It's unbelievable. And I'm not making this up. But it took me down to get down to here, where everybody says the same thing. Stress is like melting away. They They said there's no place they've never been. I said, exactly. I have never in my life, and I've been all over. I mean, I love the Virgin Islands and I love Hawaii. Um, I have never ever been to a place where you drive in and you feel the weight of the world completely lift off of you. And that's just driving in. So, do you understand what it's like for me to live in a place like this? And when you talk to anybody that visits here, they say the same thing. And I'm going to tell you why. Because it is the only place that I have ever been in the Florida Keys, and I'm sure that there's a lot of you out there that have visited the Florida Keys and can concur with my statement of the love that you get when you are here is like no other place on earth. That's the first thing that I knew when I got here, that I was home. And even though my dad said, well, I guess you got to move back to Indiana, I looked at him, I said, oh, Dad, I'm home. I said, this is what I've been longing for my whole life, is to be surrounded with love, even though there were some that betrayed me and were thieves. When you give your heart, your whole life, to everyone you meet, which I have, it's not even a surprise. Look, I'm even in a t-shirt with a heart on it that says aloha. I put that on a while ago after I took a quick swim because it was so hot out and I just wanted to get some salty air. You don't have the constant traffic noises and honking, and the air is so salty and it's so good for you. Just breathing it, you feel like you're breathing pure air. Talk about cleaning you out from the inside. Just breathing it. And I mean, it's unreal when you're out in it. I mean, you're instantly encompassed in it. That's why we're constantly moisturizing. It's it's like no other place on earth. And I know there's beautiful places in this world, and this is my personal opinion, but when you constantly hear and feel the same things as every guest that has stayed here at the Banana Bay Resort, we'll be back. It's unbelievable how many say that. And to think a little boy met Princess Hannah Grace, aka Hannah Banana, or Meatball, she's got two different nicknames, found a new friend, and had to say goodbye today to her because they're leaving and heading back out of the Keys. So they're from Germany, so safe travels to them. And little boy Liam, what a gem, 5 years old, and to watch him light up, a little boy light up with a Rottweiler, was truly amazing. Hannah Grace, come here. Come here, baby. You gotta be on the video. Come here. You gotta be on the video. Because Liam was gonna want to see you. Come on. Come on. Come here. Come here. You gotta be on the video. Yeah. Remember, Liam? We gave kisses? Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Here she is. Okay, parents, you might have to cut out some of my parts. Just show them this part. So anyway, I have to change it. So anyway, it's amazing when I get head pain every time. I do. It's because he wants me to be enlightened more, higher. And then all this happens. I put on a shirt with a heart on it that says Aloha. I didn't know I was going to talk about Hawaii, let alone love. And then I open up, and this is just about text messaging, but look where it led. I mean, that's what it's just a whole different world when you can finally surrender all those demons, just shed your life of all that darkness that's been weighing you down. Go to your happy place where you can just get to that place where you're at neutral. And I've done that a ton. And because I'm high energy, I literally have a grounding mat because I literally need to be brought back down to earth. I've been born this way. I've been like this my whole life. Endless energy. That's why I got bored in school. I wasn't interested. I wanted to learn more, and I was bored because there wasn't enough input for me. It wasn't on the level that my brain works. That's why I was constantly learning outside of school and everything else. I mean, I've been learning my whole life. That's why when I saw The Fifth Element, I went, holy crap, that's like me. I've been doing that for my whole life, and she's doing it at warp speed. I've just been doing it my whole life. I mean, I don't sit and read books. I want to watch a video. I want to hear it. There's something different when another voice says something. So that's why when I've gone back and looked at my videos, it's amazing how when you watch yourself, you're like, you feel everything you felt. It is the craziest thing. It's like I'm like, it's like, oh my gosh, remember when I said this, and this is exactly how I felt. When you get your body at neutral and really start saying, okay, why do I blah blah blah? Okay, and revisit that situation. What is it that's weighing you heavily down? And I know those um, that have been raped. That's a whole different type of evil. But when you can get yourself to neutral level and then start peeling back the layers is the easiest way for me to describe it. And I need to turn my leg warmers back on. When you get when you start peeling back those layers and keep focusing on God, He's got to be your guide. Almost like start asking, like, should I be doing this? Is this a really good idea? And if things start going wrong, those are signs to not do it. I always had three, and I'd break through and just keep going my way. And it was never a good thing. I should have stopped at three. That's something I've learned quickly. her by the door, like, "You're not leaving." That was the dead ringer. Yeah. And I almost couldn't drive home one day because my head hurt so bad. But I had to go to acupuncture. I had no choice. So I called my dad. Poopsie. And he talked me all the way home. Made sure Nanny was safe. He's the only one that has ever called me Nanny. You know, if you're in a divorced household, I'm going to give you a tip. Whatever parent is talking trash about the other parent, well, you need to close your ears, because the parent that doesn't speak any ill word, that's the good one. That's the one you want to lean on. And I'm going to tell you why. Times two in my life. Both my fathers never ever said an ill word about my mother. Never. Oh, they tell stories and giggle about it, but it wasn't on a level of mean and hateful. It was just funny stories. Oh, you know your mother, she would do. It's totally different than constantly going home to the Wicked Witch, because that's what she was. She was more like an evil stepmother when she was my biological mother. And all she would do is constantly talk trash about, well, she forbid my biological father to see me. So she talked trash about my dad constantly. And the worst part about it is I look just like him. So even though she got full custody, I look like him every time. You look just like your father. Exactly. Because he was from heaven and she was from hell. Just saying. It is unreal how God sent me two dads. Because when she took away my biological dad, that we were as close as you could be, I was his beautiful, darling daughter. So that I had Poopsie. And he always treated me like a princess. Always. And how a person would continue to procreate after they didn't want me. Born on All Saints Day. A love child. That would never hurt a flea. Unless you hurt me, or you hurt someone I know or don't know. I am so sick and tired of these ballless men in this world that have put on some iron nuts to do what they've done to our country. Shame on you. Shame on you all for not being our leaders. You don't know what leading is all about. None of you. All you know about is making the mighty dollar and seeing who's gonna end up on top. And you don't give a damn about any of us. We're just all part of your research. And you've been studying us for years. You've just been playing us all along. From one bullshit thing to the next. I mean, I saw it close hand in my profession as a tax collector. How do you not see what's going on in the world? I had over 300 tax clients. How do you not talk about a lesson in life? My brain has been like a sponge. I'll go back to The Fifth Element, watch the movie. And I have a small head. It's amazing how people don't realize once you rid yourself from all the stress, get yourself to that neutral state. Where's your sense of peace? And I'm not talking with loud, obnoxious music. If that's where you are at peace, please call me, because that's not a state of peace at all. That is a state of darkness and hysteria. Our bodies are to be at a neutral state, grounded level, and the ground is calm. That's why everybody feels so grounded when they get here. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. So once you start peeling back every layer, you don't understand the freedom you start having. And I'm not saying you'll go back to that situation and not, it might hurt you. You might go through I'm going to probably say it'll probably be like 3 times you'll go back to it. But finally, on the third time, it hurts in a different way, because you hurt for that person that you no longer are. Because as you keep changing, you keep looking back at your life of the person you were in a whole different light and going, why did that bother me so? Oh, that makes more sense. It's like, talk about taking a bunch of years of trauma, years of neglect and abuse, and just ridding it from my body, and just not letting any of it suffocate me anymore. I mean, no wonder my neck, my chiropractor says it's like Frankenstein because I've got things that are grinding in there and they're not supposed to sound like that. He says, you are a hot mess. So when you put the world on your shoulders constantly, it finally wears you down, and not in a good way. And that's why when I was sick, I was like, what? I'll just try to figure out how I can change the world, how I can do my part. Oh, why are you worrying about the world, the rest of the world? You need to worry about getting well. Well, but I'm resting. What else am I going to do? It was amazing how many people were hurtful and hateful. To say such a negative thing had never been about myself. Never. But I do like to take care of myself. I mean, I've never wanted to hurt myself until man made my world so dark I didn't know what else to do. I never thought I'd have a rock bottom. And to think somebody that knew what I said I was going to do, called no one, and was a former firefighter, paramedic, Even I believe police take all volunteer. Didn't call one person, not one. He went to bed. That's when I really woke up. That's when I was like, what on earth? Is this what life is all about? God woke me up. And I didn't get it at first. And then I went, ruh-roh, this is a whole time game changer. He wants me here. And it's time to get rid of all the excess baggage. It's time to lighten my load. And I'm on warp speed. But I get pain because I need to lay down and enlighten myself and anyone that cares to listen. But this journey has only been elevated for me since my pain management was started off down here, Delta 8, and it was very small doses. But I'm now to the Delta 9, which I'm calling the Love Potion number 9. It's the key. It's the key to clearing your head of the noise. That's the best way for me to describe it. It's taking that vision and saying, oh, there is a top to it, not a complete change in direction like mental pharmaceuticals did to me. They made me suicidal. I've never wanted to hurt myself in my life. I loved life. No matter what happened to me, I still love life. And I still gave my heart. No matter what. I have, like, ask anyone. I've been like this my whole entire life because that's what I learned in the Bible. It's God is love, so therefore we are love. How come I'm the only one that learned that? Well, not I'm the only one, but there's others just like me out there. We got the message loud and clear. You can believe or not believe. It's your choice. But the darkness attempted to come into this resort. And his name is Julio. Um, um, Melendez. He's from Guatemala. You can Google him. He was accused of um, kidnapping and raping repeatedly a woman. Now, he told me when he met me the first time that he was set up, basically. And I said, well, I'd be willing to look at your paperwork. And then he kind of got a little handsy with me, and I just said, you need to back off. Well, he's all of a sudden showed up here. And I recently learned through a friend of a friend in a group that told me I was seen pictured. And I said, well, yeah, he told me his story. Well, then she sent me the article. I said, well, he didn't tell me the full story. So I sent him some texts. Then he showed up over here. Yeah. And then he started creeping on women here. And we watched him like a hawk. All of us did. I said, here he is. We got to get him out of here. We don't need that here. Oh, and I felt that darkness. And when he saw Hannah, he stayed far away from me. That's a big dog. Yes. Oh, yes, she is. She just kept an eye on him. Like, don't you think? So, Julio Melendez. Google it. And in the marathon, I think Marathon, Florida is when the girl was picked up in Key West. But look at his picture, spread it around. Because, he needs to clean up his act or get the heck out of town. We don't need that crap in a place that's all about love. That's a darkness we don't need here. And I'm pretty sure everybody else would agree with that. Put his picture up all over the place. I'm just saying. That's one way to get the creeps out of town that don't want to turn their wicked ways. No, just a thought that just popped into my head every time I take Delta 9. That's what I'm saying, people. Get yourself to your neutral level. Peel back those layers. Get rid of all the crap. And then start listening. Think about, okay, not what do you have to do today? How about you take a time out of your life? Why not? It's the weekend. Slow down. Just slow completely down. And for me, like I said, I have to have a grounding mat. It speeds up the process sometimes. In fact, I've got one under me right now. Everybody that meets me, they're like, you're so much high energy. You've got this like bright light. It's just how I've always been. So grounding mats, when I discovered that, I was like, oh my goodness, I could get down. That means my energy level will come down to the ground. Oh, hallelujah. Let me try that. The first night, I fell right to sleep like a baby. And I mean, I've gotten so used to getting grounded now when I go to sleep that I haven't needed it. But my energy level keeps coming up, and my head pain isn't going away right now because that poison is in my body again. I tested positive to all 3 vaccines. I'm not sure if I said that earlier in this video. Maybe eventually we can edit this. And anywho, I don't know where I was. Oh, might as well go back to this where we started. Lord, I'm grateful for instant communications. Isn't that crazy? That's all I said, and then blah, 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 blah. It has come in handy so many times. That little ding on my phone lets me know that someone cares. Someone wants to stay in touch. But, turn it off. You gotta disconnect. It's unbelievable when you do. And I've done that a lot for the last 2+ years. May I never take for granted this marvelous technology. Amen. For it keeps me in the loop, no matter how far away I might be. Amen. Wasn't that flippin' awesome? So who would have thought this little book and this small little devotion would have yielded, how much time am I up to? 49 minutes. So, aloha to my Hawaiian friends. Ann and Alan, you crazy kids. They're friends that moved there. Cool couple. Super fun. So, aloha. But anyway, open your mind to new ideas. You got to clear out the crap. You got to clear it out. You got to stop listening to the television and all the crap that's out there. Silence the outside world, because we're all doing it, and we're all doing just fine. We've got to unite in love. We have to, because the more we do it, the more they're coming right up to the surface, and justice is happening all over the world right now. So we all have to do our part, but we have to start within, with Him, before we can even think of worrying about anything else. You can't build a strong army when all the soldiers we're all fighting the same war together are all listening to all the crap and the noise. It's weakening our army. I'm just saying, we the people's army's getting weakened because of all the outside freaking noise. What are they going to come up with next? What are they going to poison us with next? Because that's why I go for my maintenance checkups. So we can see what's been entered into my body and needs to come out. He brings it back to the state. And it's a great program. Why wouldn't we want that? And to get to a point where eventually we don't even have toxins. Could you imagine a world without toxins? Because we're all eating clean, without toxins in, without putting Roundup on the lawn. I mean, destroying our land. But you can't have a strong army if there's demons still weighing you down. And I'm telling you, when you come here, it's amazing how many people want to figure out how to move down here. Because it's a different world. When you let go of everything and feel the embrace of a big hug from the minute you move in. Even when I visited, I was like, oh my gosh, this is wonderful. This is my heaven on earth. I get the sunshine every day, and last year I only had one day without the sun. It was sunny 364 days. Unbelievable. In Indiana, it was always dark. That's why I had a tanning bed. I needed the sun. I did it for health. And I don't have skin cancer. I don't use sunscreen because it's poison on my skin. I'm allergic. Anything that's artificial, I'm allergic to. All of our bodies should be, because it was made up. It's not of what He's provided for us to use for our bodies. It's one thing to mix things that were already naturally here together, but to genetically produce plants. Think about it. We don't need genetically produced. We need what He provided us. Get back to the organic. It's such a simple life down here. And I'm finally, I loved La Casa Tesoro, Tessilia. I love that place in Summerlin. And I left that place a healed home, because it had a darkness in there I'd never felt in my life. And this place, there's only been a few guests that I felt any darkness. So can you imagine even coming to a place on vacation where you feel like the weight is lifted off, and then you come to a resort where everybody else feels that way, and you're all like, it is unreal how the energy, like, it's almost like our energies all combined together, and it just makes us that it increases our endorphins and makes us happier. It's it's I've never experienced anything like it. Even with my girls, they've been happy, happy, happy. And it's great to just see families come and just chill by the pool. I love it here. It's like one big happy family, and it just revolves all the time. Why wouldn't Natalie want to live in a place like this? Just saying. Why wouldn't anybody? I mean, yeah, you need stuff for families and stuff, but this is so much freaking fun. Truly it is. People need to just step back and really think about this. Is this all going to matter in a couple of years? Is it all about bigger, faster? It's just stuff. Why don't you just want a more laid back life? Where you're not hearing constant horns beeping and sirens, and it's still and quiet, people are on horses. I don't know. More people are riding them these days, if you haven't noticed. Just saying, with their hike of fuel prices, there are options for us humans. We have horses. I mean, how else are we going to get from point A to point B? Just saying. You have to be proactive with the transportation, and when is when, because it's growing daily. I don't know how they think they're going to dig themselves out. Haven't figured that one out yet, nor have I gotten the message, but stay tuned. Who knows? So, anyway, sorry I was winded. I probably will eventually edit this, but I'm going to just upload it with multiple facets based on my 365 gifts. Crazy. Text messages. 141. 333. Anyway, love to all bunches and bunches, and thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in, and see you soon. Bye.